Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a kind of a recap of all the other boat hold techniques that I showed you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this wooden fishing boat from the beginning till the end, including those paddles. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. And while you're going to hear me talking, that's actually me thinking very loud, so don't be scared. Okay, so let's start with it. And we're gonna start with a new design here. First thing we're gonna do, create a new component. I'm just gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it skin. And as before, as I already talked in one of my videos, I explained it that I'm going to build it from the outside in. It's going to be much easier when we're going to need to thicken all the everything. So let's start, and I'm going to start with the new sketch here and create a line from here to here, and I'm gonna constraint it in the middle. Give it a dimension. It's gonna be 1 meter. Let's go a little bit back. I'm gonna drag it a bit more up and gonna create now the back side here. I'm gonna do again, constrain it to this point here. Give it a dimension. It's gonna be something like 250, and I think it's going to be enough. Maybe actually 280. Let's say it's 280. Okay, and let's see if we need something else. No, we just need to turn it into a construction line. And yeah, now we're going to work on the shape from above. So I'm going to use the spline tool. Let's see if I'm going to need how many points I'm going to need for this one. I think I'm going to need only 3 points. I always like to start with the less, and it's going to be something like that. I'm going to mirror it to the other side. And this is just to give me an idea how it's going to look like and if it's the shape that I want. And I think it looks actually okay, so we can move on to the next piece. So I'm going to I'm not sure if it's, let's see, we can change it later, but okay, let's stop the sketch and move on to the next, and it's going to be the back. Now the order that I'm doing the sketches, it's quite important, and when you're gonna try it yourself, then you're gonna understand why. So I'm gonna go into the planet angle, choose this one and choose this sketch here, give it 70 degrees, something like that. I think it will be okay. You can also give it 90 degrees, it's up to you. Maybe 75, and click OK. Good. And now we're going to create a sketch on this plane here, but before, and then I'm going to project this point and this point and this one here in the middle. I'm going to start with a straight line. Let's create a dimension 150. It's okay right now. And I'm gonna create another straight line here and somewhere about here, and another one that goes all the way here. Good. I don't care about the other side for now, and we'll see how it goes. We can always change it. And yeah, so far so good. Again, dimension, it's quite important. If you can give it now, do it now. If not, do it later. So but don't forget them, because if you're gonna change something, it can screw up many things, so remember that. And yeah, another thing is I need to turn this one into a construction line. Okay, we finished this sketch. Now we can move on to work on the side, and we're gonna do this one here. We're gonna project this point here, and let's see, I'm going to project also this one here. And now we can go into the spline. You don't have to use the spline, just feel comfortable working with the spline. And I'm just gonna create the shape of the bottom. Let's see, maybe I'm gonna need to use some extra points. I'm just gonna hit the control key while I'm playing with it. And maybe I'm gonna move it a little bit, just a little bit more down here. I think maybe the back side here, I need to make it longer, a little bit more longer. So, but we'll see. And yeah, I think I'm gonna need to add an extra point here. So no problem. Insert spline fit point. It's gonna be somewhere here. Yeah, that looks much better. But this one I need to make it longer. Let's see if I can do it from here. And I need to show the dimension. Can I see it from here? Yes, but let's see, I can give it, instead of 150, I can give it 170. No, something went wrong. And just go back. And maybe, yeah, that looks better. So as you can see here also, I don't have to stop it and go back to the other sketch and all that. I can do it from here. And I'm just gonna make this one a little bit more straight. Yeah, something like that. That looks fine. Good. And now we're gonna stop this one. Next, now we are going to, I'm just gonna hide these dimensions. I'm going to, there is one thing I forgot, and that is I need to project also this point here. And now I'm going to make a point. Where is it? Right here. I'm going to put it somewhere here, and I'm going to create horizontal constraint between this one and this one. Now, and next after that, something very important, I'm gonna break here the line here. This is very important. Ignore the warning. I can turn this one into a construction, and yeah, that's it. It's important because now when we're going to work on the loft command, and we're going to move on and create a second line here, going to help us to shape the boat, the hole. And so we can create a loft between this line here to the next one, and then to the bottom one. And if we didn't do this one, then it's going to be like one long line all the way up, and it's going to give us an arrow. So that's why. Okay, so now we can move on to create 2 points here. I wanna do this one and this one here, and I'm gonna go and create planet angle and give it 90 degrees and click OK. I can hide the axis here, and yep, let's see, that's what we wanted. Yeah, so we can create a sketch here. It kind of turned on me. Okay, good. Now we can we need to project and this point here, and we need to project this point here. Going to the top view again, and we're gonna go and use the spline as before. We're gonna follow almost the same shape as we did earlier. And now I'm just gonna go and move on this one a little bit, on it more into the inside, and this one we can always change it later. And but let's see how it looks. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit more. Okay, I think it looks fine. Let's leave it like that for now, I think. And maybe there is too much spacing, I don't know. Let's do it like this. Good. We can finish this one. We don't have to mirror it to the other side. Sorry. Now we can go and start doing the lofts. We can go into the patch environment, go into the loft, create loft. Oh, sorry, something was selected before, so we can create a loft between this one and this one. Let's see if it's gonna let us to create another loft here. Gonna create, click on the plus. No, doesn't matter, it's not really that important. And then we can use this one here as the rail, and also this one here as the rail. Now let's turn them back on, create a new loft, and this one is going to be between this one and this one. Oh, sorry, it's need to click on the plus because they are kind of connected to each other. And yep, and we need also rail here, which is going to be this one here. It's very important not to forget it. Okay, good. Now it's plus minus what I'm looking for, and it looks not so bad actually. So I'm going to put them together. I'm going to stitch them, and I'm going to mirror everything to the other side. So I'm going to mirror the body here. Gonna mirror all the way to the other side. As you can see now, it starts getting shape, our boat. And you had the option now, we can create also the back, or you can also do it later. It doesn't matter really at this point, but I'm just gonna create it. I'm gonna create it now. Let's see if I can, no, I need to turn some of the sketches off maybe. I just need to do something like that. Okay, and it looks okay, looks fine. So I'm gonna stitch also this one and this one together, and yeah, so far so good. It looks kind of the shape that I was looking for. Now I just want to make sure something here, that it's completely straight here at the top. It looks really nice. Okay, next, now this is the skin. Okay, now what we left to do is we're gonna thicken the whole body here. So I just want to make sure that we have no, see, we still have those two bodies which we need to stitch. Okay, this one and this one. Click OK. So now we have only one body. So now we can thicken everything, and we need to thicken inwards. Okay, and we're gonna give it, let's start with 2 millimeters. And I think it will be just fine with 2. Again, don't forget, this is just a just very, very small model. Okay, and click OK. Good, so this is our skin. Next, what we need to do is we can hide all the sketches. We don't need them right now. And we can, now we're gonna work on the ribs. So we're going to right click here at the top, new component, and we're gonna call it ribs. So we're going to create and then offset. So we're going to offset this face here, this face, this face, and this face. If you want to give it some space, so you can give it a space here, but I'm not, and click OK. So we can hide for now the skin, and so we got this extra pointy here. Now if we want, you know what, we can go back and take everything. Maybe it's gonna help. Let's see. Oh, it's not gonna help, but it doesn't matter. We don't really need it. So, but we're gonna create, I think, a new site for this pack. But to be honest, personally, it's kind of annoying me, these points here. So let's see if I can fix it. I'll look for a splitting tool. So I'm gonna go into, it's not this one, maybe it's this one. Wait a second. I'm just gonna turn the skin on. I think it's this one, yes. Okay, yeah, now I see why it took everything. And so never mind, we can cut these points in the end if it's happened to you. Okay, so we're just gonna ignore it for now. It's not a big deal. So we're going to work on the ribs, as I said, and we need to give it a thickness. And second, I'm gonna select everything here, and it's going to be, yeah, again, depends on the ribs, how thick do you want them. And I mean, inwards it can be maybe 10, something like that. Okay, and then we can click, we finish with this one, can click OK. Good. Actually, this point we can actually also much easier to get rid of this, but again, as I said before, doesn't matter. But I can show you actually how we do this. We can just go into split body, go into this one here, then we choose this face, give it a few seconds. So it's not gonna take all of it. No, never mind, forget it for now. And yeah, it's stuck now because my stupid mistake. So sometimes, you know, it's required a little bit patient. And let's wait a few seconds. See, it's gonna go away. This is one of the challenges sometimes when you're working with the Fusion 360. It's not so forgettable. So if it doesn't like something, it's gonna tell you. Okay, now as you can see here, this one, it's got some kind of an angle which I don't really like so much. And let's see if we have this one as well here at the skin, not so much. But what I'm gonna do is, because I want to straight it out before I'm doing everything else. So what I'm going to do is we're going to split body. I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna choose here the XZ axis. So now we straighten this one out. So we can go into the bodies here. As you can see here, we got this one extra here, which if we want, we can just remove it, but I just turn it off. And unfortunately, it's going to give us this extra. It's going to tease us in some point, but don't worry about it. And yeah, so at this point here, what we're going to do, because we're going to create the ribs, you have the option to already now to shape your ribs. For example, we can add some fillets over here and over here, which create some kind of, as you can see, the round shape of the inside of the rib. Give it maybe 20 if it's gonna allow us. Okay, but that's it if you want it. I didn't do it, but you can also already do it right here if you want it. As you can see here on my ribs, they have some kind of a very sharp angle. Okay, so yeah, let's go back here. I'm not gonna do it, and I'm gonna create a new sketch here right in the middle, and I'm gonna start from the back here, and you can slice it or not, and we're gonna create some kind of a rectangle for maybe somewhere here. Now this is gonna be the thickness of the rib. Okay, and it's very important that it's go all the way through, you know, outside, that it's much higher than the boat. Now if you want the ribs to be thinner, obviously you're just gonna create something which is thinner, maybe 18 in the thickness, and just remember this one needs to be much more down here. And yeah, so basically now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a rectangular pattern. So we're gonna choose all of the lines here, and we're gonna stretch it. We're gonna say, okay, we want it all the way to somewhere maybe here. And how many ribs do we want? Okay, I want to just say 10. Fine. So gonna click OK. Now we can change again this how thick it's gonna be later. So we just finished with this one. Click OK. This is the fun part. We're gonna click on the extrude. So we're gonna select all of them. Let's move the window, and next we're gonna do intersect. It's gonna be symmetrical, and let's just see 250. Let's see how it looks. Okay, and voila. So this is the ribs, and if I want to make them you know, as I said before, maybe thinner, so we can show the dimension, and we can change this one to maybe I don't know, 16. Here we go. So you can just hide this one again. Now we can turn on the skin. You can see how it looks. See, it's already starting to shape up, and yeah, it looks really nice. Good. Next, what we're going to do is we need to create to work on the yeah, I don't know exactly, I forgot the name of it, of this, yeah, the line here in the middle. It's kind of a piece of wood that's holding almost everything together, and for that we're going to create another component. I don't remember the name of it, so let's forget about it for a moment. We're gonna go to the sketches. I think it was sketch number 3. Yeah, so this is it, and I'm gonna go back to the patch environment. I'm gonna go into the extrude, and we're going to select it, and we want it to be symmetrical on both sides. Start with the, I don't know, 5, something small, and see if you need thicker. And I think it's okay, and yeah, 5, it's okay. Click OK, and now we are going to gonna give it thickness, and how it's gonna thicken outside, but I want it also to thicken actually from the inside. So I'm just gonna hit the minus here. I'm gonna give it a thickness outside later, just because it's not gonna be exactly symmetrical. That's why you can either do it like this and then remove the thickness from the outside. It's up to you, but you know what, let's just keep it like this. But now we can also see how it's gonna cut through the ribs, because the ribs need a specific cut. They're gonna sit on it, and so we can see if it's thick enough, or hopefully it's not too thick, and I think it looks fine. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. Now what we're going to do, it's going to be the cant here all around. We have this cant here, and so how I'm going to do this one, there are various options to that, and I think the easiest way will be, it's just going to create a new component, and I'm going to let's see here. Yeah, we can create, for example, an offset of the, you can see here the the skin here. Just going to leave it like this, and then we can go into the modified. We can do an extend. We choose this line, and here it says natural. Let's give it, let's just say 5. So it's going to extend everything by 5 millimeters. I just want to make sure how it looks on the other side here, but you can see it goes upwards. So I don't like it, so I'm going to do a tangent. Let's see how's the result. Still not good. Perpendicular, obviously not good. So no, it's not good. It's not gonna give me the result that I'm looking for. And so the other option is, see, it doesn't look good. It's to use the original line here from the skin here. It's this one here. So we can hide the bodies. But just a second, need to go back one more here. Now we can go into the, we turned on this one here, and not this one, we need this one here. Now we can use this line, for example, and we can use, go into the extrude. Now it's choosing everything, so I don't want it. I just want one here, and it's extruding upwards, which is okay, that's fine. And we can say, okay, I want I don't know, 10 millimeters. It's too much, then maybe 6. Much better, I think. And I also want, let's see, symmetrical on both sides. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm gonna click OK. Now we're going to thicken this one, and let's see if it's thick enough or maybe too much. And now we can cut those ribs later if we want, or if you wanted to cover the ribs or not, or if you want the ribs to gonna be only gonna reach the face of the cant here. I can show you how we can do this. So we could and just leave it like this for a moment. We can go into the patch model and then press pull. We can give it an extra, a new offset of, I don't know, maybe 3 millimeters, something like that. And then on the other side, maybe we can reduce it a little bit. If it's too much, if you want, again, it's up to you. You can say -3, like that, and click OK. Now, in order to cut the ribs, what we're going to do is, because we're going to start to shape everything now, we can hide this one, and we're going to go into, first I'm going to go into the ribs. It's here, and I'm going to okay, let's just see, we pass through all of them. Yeah, okay, so the easiest way to do is actually go into the count here. We're going to mirror it to the other side. Okay, now just forget about this end here, we're going to fix it later. What we're going to do is we're going to combine, but as far as I can see here, it doesn't go all the way through, and the combine, it's not going to be the best idea for that. So I'm just gonna go into split body. It's gonna create a lot of bodies pieces, but never mind. So we're gonna go and choose, you know, all of them here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the splitting tool, it's going to be the face here below. Okay, it's gonna be this face. Click OK. So now we cut all of them. So if we go to the to the bodies here, as you can see, boom, we have a lot of those small pieces. And let's just turn this one off, so it's going to be easier to select them actually from here. Let's go to the ribs. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, let's just make sure we're not selecting something we're not supposed to. And last one, we actually have another one here somewhere, this one, and then we hit the V and the keyboard, and that's it. Again, you can just delete them if you want. It's too many of them. We can not delete them, but hit the remove, so it's not gonna bother us later on. More, no, right click, remove. Okay, not delete. Good. So now it's clean. Let's see how everything looks so far. It looks really nice, starting to get the shape. So we need to finish now this one here. And how we're gonna do this, first I want to create the shape for here in the front. So what I'm gonna do is let's see what's going to be the smartest. So I'm going to this one here, and I'm going to create a new sketch here in the middle, and I'm going to slice everything. I don't need all the ribs, and I don't need the cant here, just disturbing me. But I know that the cant, yeah, okay, so let's keep the cant here so I can see exactly what I need to do. Okay, good. So I'm going to project this one here and project this one here. So I'm going to take the spline tool actually, and I'm going to create some kind of a round shape. Oh, sorry, let's try again. Okay, let's make it so it's gonna look nicer. can take it a little bit more down. And okay, maybe I can just leave it like this. Another thing maybe I'm gonna do is let's create a hole here in the middle. It's gonna be right here, and we're gonna click on OK. So we're gonna go to extrude. Now let's see what's happened here. If it wasn't closed. No, it wasn't for some reason. And let's see why not. So we're going to choose this one and this one. If I'm gonna hide, see, this was kind of surprising because they're supposed to be closed, but it's not. And I'm just gonna hide this one for a moment. It's gonna be much easier to see, to figure out what's going on. There is a function line here, and there is one here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to break the link here, and I'm gonna trim maybe this one here. No, it didn't help. So for some reason, the geometry here that I've created, it's not close, and I think it's because of the other side. So what I need to do add here, I think this is why it's not working, because it's open on the other side. Yeah, that's why. So gonna click OK here, and I'm going to extrude this one. It's gonna be both sides symmetrical, and don't forget we need this one, and it's gonna take all the way up to, come on, let's push it a little bit, help it, and into this surface, and we want it to be joined, and let's see, and click OK. Good. So this is how it's going to look like. And now we go back to the cant here. How we're going to fix it is we're going to choose this one, this cant, and this cant. It's not really a join, it's going to be a cut. And sorry, so it's this one. Let's see if we can do them both. No, we cannot. So it's one by one, and the tool, it's going to be this one. But I just need to make sure that it's fine. Oh, another thing I forgot, it's to keep tooling. And now let's do the other part. Gonna select this one. It's cut, and the tool, it's this one, and keep tooling. Good. So now we have some extras here. You can either combine them or, you know, delete them. It doesn't matter. See this piece up. If we go into the you can see them here, those extra from this part here. So we can do this, can do like this. Now we just join them together, or all right, if we go inside here, see, it's this piece and this one. So these two, we can just remove them. We don't need them. Good. So everything starting to look really, really nice. Let's turn on the ribs. It also looks beautiful. And another thing is left us to do, it's to work on the bottom. Now this is also gonna be kind of fun to create, and it's also relatively easy to create. And yeah, let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay. Again, I'm thinking loud in my head, so we can just ignore it or not. let's create a new component. Now to create it, there is different ways to do it, but I think maybe one of the easiest one is to create an offset. Let's go to the region here, and we can say, okay, I want to offset. I want the bottom to be somewhere about here. See how it looks. Maybe somewhere here. Sorry, minus 130. Oh. Let's try again. Edit view, minus 130. Good. So we can turn this one off. And we need to create a sketch here at the bottom. Now, there are the options to do here is, let's see, the smartest it's going to be. I'm going to use the intersect, project intersect. And so we can project either everything here. So which means we're going to have both lines. Okay, I need this line here in the middle. And it's quite important. So I'm gonna click OK. And I'm gonna go into the patch environment, and then I'm gonna create patch here. So this one, and this one here. Good. And I'm going to thicken this one maybe upward. Thicken up one side I need. See, which I'm not gonna go through everything. It's gonna be no, it's gonna be less. It's gonna be, I don't know, 5, half of this one. And we're gonna click OK. Next I'm gonna do is, so we have our body here. We're gonna go into the model. We're going to combine, and we select this one. It's gonna be a cut, keep tooling, as I did before. This one, and this one. And I don't know, this one, if it touches, no, so we can ignore this one. And we click OK. So now you see also why I did this one. Because if I'm gonna hide the ribs, you can see we got the shapes. Okay, so that's why. So this one is also ready. And let's see everything together. If you want, we can turn on the inspect component color cycling, so you have some kind of a contrast. Now if we wanted, we can also push it much higher. Okay, and yeah, it's coming along pretty nice. Now I want to create some kind of a bench here, so I can sit and pedal. How are we gonna create a bench here? We're gonna create a new component and create offset plane, and I'm gonna create the bench. Maybe I'm gonna create it here this time. Click OK. Go into create a new sketch, and we're gonna slice it. So the bench is going to go, we're going to do some intersection projection, and it's going to be this one here. And I'm going to give it create a new, how high it's going to be, somewhere like this. Okay, now if we hide the ribs for a moment, let's hide almost everything. I need also intersect this one here, the bottom part. everything. It's quite important. So okay, good. So there are some kind of you know, double intersection here as it looks. Let's go deeper. See, this one, for example, we don't need, so we can delete this one, but we need to make sure that this one attaches all the way to the other side. And now it's a hole. Okay, so what we're gonna do is stop the sketch now. We can turn everything back on. Now we can go and do extrude back all the way here. It's going to be a new body, and we click OK. Next, I want to make it hollow, both sides, 3 millimeters, and we're going to click OK. So see, very simple, creating the bench. Again, let's go all the way back. And it's precisely, you know, we got the shape of everything, and it's going to be really nice because this way you can it's going to be much easier afterwards if you want to create a DXF file. So we're just going to project this profile and we can cut it so it's going to be exact fit of the for the ribs. Okay, so it looks, yeah, really nice. Now we're going to create the place here for the pedals, and again we're going to create a new component, and we are going to, if it's going to allow us, if it's straight enough, and I'm going to create it here, and I'm going to create a sketch here. Now where we want it, yeah, I don't know, somewhere. Let's start by projecting everything here. So we know this is the bench, so it's going to be somewhere here. So I'm going to create a straight line from here to here, and another one from here to here. Again, I'm doing it so people are going to say me, why didn't you do it? Well, so I'm just showing you how we can do it. And more what we need is, I'm going to create now a, let's see, I'm going to create a kind of a center line between this one and this one. That's good. And I'm going to create another center line here. And this is just so I know where the center is. And it's going to be something like, yeah, 4.5, and another one maybe somewhere here, also 4.5. Now let's see the distance here, and 9, and the distance between this one to this one, it's gonna be 4.5. Oh, sorry. Not good. I need to push it this direction here. Um, 7, maybe 8. Again, what I'm trying to do here is then constrain everything. It's very important. And now I can go into mirror. I can select this one, and then we can use this line here that we did. But as you can see, because it's kind of a round shape, so it doesn't really work as I wish it would. So so we can actually do this. So I'm gonna have to recreate them. So now it's like 4.5 here, but again, this is just the holes for where I'm gonna, for the screws. You're gonna see it in a moment. Now at least it's 9 between those two. And I know that between this one and this one we had 8, and it looks okay. It's okay for now. We can sit down and work and make it more precise, you know. Oh, one thing I forgot here. Great. And so far I'm just gonna move it a little bit here. Another thing is line between this one and this one, 63, that's okay. And I can create them also parallel to each other if I want. This one is parallel to this one, or not, but that's okay. This one is just a construction, as well as this one, and we click finish. So we can now extrude this one all the way up, maybe 5 millimeters, and click OK. Next, we're going to create a new sketch right here, and it's going to be a circle here, somewhere here in the center. Again, you're more than welcome to work on the measurement here. And this one is going to be 8. That's fine. We're going to extrude this one out somewhere here. 11. And now we need to create an axis here through this one here, and we're going to create a surface here, and we're gonna go just, you know, make it faster. So we can go, either you can create this one here, or I'm going to create a new sketch here. I know this is my center, and let's see how big I'm gonna make it. So this is just a technique. I'm just gonna show you how you can create these, and just gonna go, sorry, into the pipe command, how we're gonna create this ring. And yeah, just give it a thickness of, I don't know, 3 maybe, something like that, and hit OK. Let's go into the construction here. Now at this point here, it's quite easy to continue. I'm sure you know what to do. So I'm just gonna mirror this one to the other side, and because now we're going to do the paddles, but here you just need to work on the finishes, you know, create maybe fillets, or you can create also a draft here if it's gonna let us, not draft, where is it, chamfer here, I don't know, 3, something like that. Start shaping everything together. Okay, so the finishes I'm gonna let you work with it. I'm sure you don't need my help for that. But here, how I created the paddle, I just went to the exit through to this one here. So I have an axis here, then again planet angle, and then I give it some kind of I don't remember the exact angle. Maybe it was, yeah, 34, 36, something like that. Hit OK. Now I created a sketch here. Okay, and I'm just gonna slice it, so it's gonna be easy to see where we are. So here is our center point. So I'm gonna go a little bit back. I'm gonna decide, let's just say it's from here to somewhere about here. Click OK. Then we're going to just create a constraint here. So now it's right in the middle. The length, yeah, just play with it. Click OK. Okay, now you get it. So you can go into the pipe command again, and it's new body. Now basically I forgot to create you know, I needed to create a new component for that. Okay, so it's gonna be something like, actually maybe 10, and click OK. As you can see, I did it completely wrong, so I'm gonna show you again. We have to create a new component. Okay, if you do it right. If not, then don't do it. Here you go. Again, it was something like 45 degrees or 40 degrees. So we're gonna create a sketch here. And it was somewhere between, I don't know, here all the way to here. Okay, now we're going to just constrain it here to the middle point, to the region. Let's see how it looks. This one we can just delete this one, we don't need it. And we went into the pipe command, gave it, was like 10 or something, and we click OK. Now we need to create the flat side here. Again, it's not so complicated. We're just going through the same procedure here. Then we go into the planet angle. Then you decide the angle that you want it. You can also have it this way. Create a sketch on this here. We're going to slice it. And then we can just, you know, work on the shape. Maybe something like that, maybe this size. And actually maybe I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, and it is I'm going to create fillets. Oh, I know it's showing fillets here and here. Oh, something is not right here. Let's try again. Fillets between this line and this line. Can increase the fillets if we want, and the same one here to here. Okay, finish it, extrude it both sides, symmetrical, I don't know, 1 millimeter, something like this. It's going to be join, and voila. So now you have on both sides. I'm just gonna hide this constructions line. Now all you gotta do is create we can now mirror this to the other one, to the other side. This one into here, and let's see the results now. And here we go. This is the boat. As you can see, it wasn't that complicated. It's quite simple. All you gotta do now is start working on the finishes and the different cuts, which you already basically know it by now. For example, right here below, we need to cut, for example, the skin here. So how we're gonna do it? Because right now the skin, it goes all the way to the other side, but we need to make the cut because it's gonna go all the way to this side here. So the usual, we can use the combine. It's the easiest way. If we go into this one here and we want to cut, we want to keep the tooling and choose this one here, keep tooling, okay, and then click OK. Now if we hide it, let's see, where is it? This one here. So if we hide it, now as you can see, we have the cut, the exact cut that we want. And so, and this one we can just remove it and create a new one behind, and you can do everything that you want. And again, it goes for the ribs. I'm going to put it back on. I'm going to hide this one. We need to create cuts on for the ribs to sit on this piece here. So I'm going to go and let's just hide the plate here. I'm going to select this, all those, sorry. Let's see if it's going to let us to do multi-selection. Nope, unfortunately not. So you're going to have to do it one by one at this point, but it's not a big deal. But I'm just going to do one, and you're going to cut it. Let's see what this arrow means. The object that you're creating is not visible. Don't worry about it. And as you can see here, if I'm going to hide this one, so we got the cut, the exact cut that we want for the rib. Okay, so you can just continue from now, and if you have any questions, so just let me know. I'm gonna attach I'm gonna add a link to this one here, so you can see also exactly how I did it, and this example of how I did it. And yeah, if you have any questions, just put it down in the comments, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.